Welcome! This is the Winco 14-inch honing steel. I've had this item for a couple of weeks now and I'm very happy with it. I have quite a few other steels, but this is the first oval one that I have. Unlike the others, it's not round shaped. You see, it's got this oval shape to it. And I've heard that these oval shaped steels will strain your edge a lot faster, that they take less swipes to do that, and they're easier to use. So I wanted to see for myself, and I picked this up. I haven't really noticed a difference in performance, but I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. In this video, I'm going to be splitting it up into 4 parts. First, we're going to go over the specifications of what this item is. We'll take measurements, and I'll demonstrate how to use it. Afterwards, we'll talk about functionality, how this item performs. Then we'll talk about fit and finish, the item state out of box. Then we'll talk about value. So let's begin. We have our measuring tape here. This is a 14-inch honing steel. We can see that the length of the metal part of the steel measures in at exactly 14 inches, though the usable surface against which you will actually be doing your honing, the grooved edges extending all the way from the top to here, that measures at about 12.5 inches. You have about 12.5 inches of grooved surface to hone against. The handle measures in at just under 5 inches. And the overall length of the item is 19 inches. We can see that the item has a hook here that you can use to store it. Because of the length of this item, it will not fit in a lot of drawers. It might not fit in your knife bag, but special consideration you might need to take for storing this item. In terms of how to use it, there's plenty of videos that describe how to use a honing steel, and it's all pretty straightforward. You want to make sure you take your steel, start over here, make sure that your angle with the honing steel is exactly the angle on your profile. For this knife, it's going to be about 15 degrees. And I'm just going to move it forward and let the weight of the knife do the work. And just repeat. You essentially want almost as if you're shaving off against the honing steel. And as you get some practice, you can start going faster, but more importantly is you make sure you have your angle right. Then flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. And try and keep your edge up against the grooves of the steel. Now if you happen to go a little close to your hand, that's okay because you got this bolster here that guards your hand. So you're not going to hurt yourself. There are a few things I really like about this honing steel. First of all, it's just really solid. It doesn't bend, it just feels really tough and durable. I haven't dropped it yet, but I expect that in a drop it won't get damaged. There's a metal loop at the end here, which I already mentioned. This is great for storage. Because of the size of this item, it's probably best to find a place to hang it just so you have easy access to it and you don't have to worry about drawer space. The 14-inch length means that it's large enough to hone blades of up to 12 inches. It'll work on smaller knives as well. But the maximum size that you're really going to be effective with is a 12-inch knife. The one drawback I see in terms of functionality is this grip over here. It's this flat, square grip that extends all the way up to the bolster, and it's okay, but it could be a little bit more comfortable. Overall, though, this item performs very well. I did not see any issues that would impede functionality with respect to fit and finish. You can see there's some minor blemishes alongside the grooves. And over here the grooves stop a little bit early, but these are minor cosmetic issues and they don't impact functionality at all. The handle itself, it came without any scratches, without any cracks, dents, and the item is ready to use out of the box. So this is an interesting one because this item over here costs just about $9. There's a similar item on Tiger Chef. This is also a Winco honing steel, but this is the round version, and this one only costs about $5. The only difference is that this one is oval and this one is round, and the handles are a little different as well. But from a performance perspective, I don't really see any difference in how these items perform. So it comes down to your preference. I find this one is a little bit more intuitive to work against. The shape is a little bit more comfortable for me to work against having this flatter surface than this one. But to me, it seems like the same amount of swipes will strain the edge. They're equally fast as far as I can tell, and they seem to be made of the same material. So it really comes down to your preference. If you're willing to spend about $4 more on this oval one, I still think it's a great deal. Going forward, I expect to be using this one a lot more than this one, just because it just feels a little bit more intuitive to work against. Both of these seem to strain out edges at the same speed. They both seem to perform very similarly. I can't really recommend one over the other. It's really up to your preference. To sum things up, this is an excellent deal. I'm very happy with it. I expect to continue using it for a long time. As I mentioned, there is a similar honing steel that's round instead of oval, which is available a little bit cheaper. Both of these items perform very, very similarly. It's really up to you what you prefer. I hope this video was helpful. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to let me know and I will do my best to answer them.